All right, what's up, everybody? It's Sheridan. I'm back here with another Oscar video. I know it's a little late at this point. You guys are probably like, why are you doing an Oscar video? It's long over. But I wanted to do a hangover take or whatever, but I just didn't get the chance. I actually recently moved into a new house with my partner, Olive. A lot of other crazy life stuff that I will tell you guys hopefully soon is also happening. So my life's just kind of been in a swirl. I haven't been able to work on videos as much as I like. But I do have like music I've been working on. I have some stuff in the system. So I'm excited for this year. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about what happened at these Oscars that not even Conan could save. He was great. Great host. My favorite host. While I've watched these, I haven't watched that many, to be honest. But of the ones that I've watched, he was the best host for sure. I'm also kind of a Conan Glazer though, so take with that what you will. Okay, but starting with actor in a leading role, I'm not mad at this one. I think there were honestly, everyone nominated was great. I would say if there was like a weak link, maybe Sebastian Stan. I mean, he was great. I just don't think where these four other dudes were the best part of their movie. I don't think Sebastian Stan was actually the best part of his movie, but we'll get to that. Ray Fiennes, he was great. He would probably be my next one out as well. And then Timothy, I think it was kind of a race between him and Adrian Brody. I think he was great, but I also wouldn't have had him. Then we get to Coleman Domingo. I think, I'm just going to get it out of the way right now. Sing Sing was my favorite movie of the year. If you haven't seen that, which I think a lot of people, not enough people have seen it, you got to see that. I think it's on streaming now, Max or something like that, but definitely watch it. Coleman Domingo is show stopping. I don't want to spoil too much, but just watch it. It's a great movie. He would have been my pick. Coleman Domingo would be my pick. But I think, if I had to pick a second, it would be Adrian Brody. I wasn't mad at him winning. He's one of my favorite actors for sure. I think this is one of the few categories that I think, as much as I didn't agree with it, I'm not too hardly contesting. I think it's a fair win. A bit of a legacy win in a way as well. I don't love when that happens, but I'm not mad at it. Moving on to actor in a supporting role, Kieran Culkin. When I saw Real Pain, I was like, oh, this is going to be my pick. He was great. I didn't love the movie that much. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was good, but I wasn't absolutely taken by it. I don't know if I'm totally convinced of Jesse Eisenberg as a director, even though I did also think his performance was great. But yeah, going on, we'll get to this later, but yeah, no, he would have been my second to last pick. Edward Norton was a total that just feels like they're glazing him. I feel like the Oscars glaze Edward Norton. I think he's a good actor. I don't want to make it sound like I don't, but I don't see how he fits here. There's quite a few people that I think could have gotten this nomination over him. Moving on to Guy Pearce, he probably would have been my second pick. Honestly, he was incredible. I think he's a great actor and he's very selective with his roles, which I think is cool. But I also wish I saw him in more stuff, if that makes sense. But he was great in The Brutalist. I think The Brutalist is just an awesome movie. He would have been my second pick. But dude, Jeremy Strong, holy shit, Jeremy Strong. He absolutely stole the show of The Apprentice, I feel like. I think Sebastian Stan was great, but the scenes with Jeremy Strong were they kept me glued. And I thought, I wasn't even totally in love with The Apprentice as a movie and the way that it was done. I thought it was solid. But I think Jeremy Strong put that motherfucker in a backpack. Moving on to actress in a leading role. Mikey Madison, she was fine. I think she's a very serviceable actress. I don't totally understand the craze around her, but she was fine. Definitely not my pick. I think this was kind of crazy. She wasn't my last pick, but that's only because Amelia Perez was nominated in this category, and any category where Amelia Perez was nominated, you can probably guess that will be my last pick. But yeah, Mikey Madison, I for the life of me, I don't understand it, but that's fine. My original choice, because I hadn't seen I'm Still Here, as I told you guys before the Oscars, I wasn't able to see it. But once it came up for rent, I did. So before I saw I'm Still Here, Cynthia Erivo was my pick. And I'm not like, I'll just say I wasn't expecting that. I'll say I wasn't expecting her to be so good. She killed it. She has a beautiful voice. She's a wonderful actress. I think my reasoning behind it really though was she just, for her role, she had to do more than anyone else. Even if she ended up not being my number one pick, I felt like she had to do more than anyone else nominated. So I really would have liked to see it go to her, but who knows? Maybe she'll get it for the second one. But yeah, no, I'm not even going to talk about this. Crap. Total garbage. Demi Moore, I wouldn't have been mad if it went to her. She probably would have been my third pick, but I think it was pretty close between the top three, and it would have been a legacy pick. I wouldn't have been mad at that. But my pick would have been Fernando Torres. I thought I'm Still Here was really a really great movie. I loved it even more than I kind of thought I would. I had heard some like mixed reviews on it, and I definitely agreed more with the positive ones. I get what some people were saying about what they were calling like the nice soldier scene, but I personally didn't really interpret it as a nice soldier. I kind of interpreted it as like a pathetic soldier, but I don't know. Take from that what you will. Watch it and let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, definitely would have gone to Fernando Torres for me. But I think there were two other great options and none of them got it. And that was kind of frustrating. But I'm not that surprised. Moving on to actress in a supporting role. I mean, this is one of the worst selections I've ever seen in terms of a winner. It's a terrible movie, and I don't even think Zoe Saldana is that good in it. I think she's a fine actress. Not that great, though. I would say, for me, I believe she's actually kind of below average. So I didn't get that. Monica Barbero, whatever. I mean, she was fine in it. I don't know. Wouldn't have been my pick for a nominee at all. Hard for me to say that there weren't other options. Elle Fanning, perhaps. If you were going to go for a complete unknown, I thought her performance was a little bit better or a little bit more interesting, at least. Ariana Grande, Wicked. I thought she was fine in Wicked. I thought Ariana Grande was fine in Wicked. Popular. It's an earworm, but it was an earworm before she sang it. So yeah, she was fine. Wouldn't have been my pick. Didn't get it. So whatever. Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, man. That would have been my pick. She was absolutely incredible. Maybe even like more enthralling than Adrian Brody. I absolutely loved her performance, especially like towards the end of the movie. I don't want to spoil anything, but she's just like, she like moved up a tier for me when I watched that. And then Isabella Rossellini, great performance, but I almost feel like, you know, it might have been just like kind of a legacy pick. But I mean, I would have loved if it went to any of these four over fucking Amelia Perez. And it's just a horrible movie, disrespectful, disgusting movie. I hated it. Animated feature film. I'll say this. Flow is a great movie. I loved Flow, but I just honestly don't think it was the best. I don't think it was the best. I'm glad it didn't go to Inside Out 2, but I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen. Memoir of a Snail was like so underappreciated this year, I think. People who saw it loved it, but I just don't think enough people have seen it because it's actually a really, really special movie. Wallace and Gromit, also great stop motion, super fun, but doesn't hold quite the emotional weight of Memoir of a Snail. And the only reason I'm comparing them is they're both pretty similar stop motion. Wallace and Gromit happening to have a much larger budget though. And so to me, Memoir of a Snail was just a really impressive feat. Still though, would have been my second pick because The Wild Robot, I mean, I hate to glaze big corporations or whatever the hell, Pixar. No, it's DreamWorks. I don't like to glaze them, but it's a great movie. It made me cry, but I'm a sucker for mob movies. So moving on. Animated short film. Again, I did not get access to these, so we'll just skip right over that. Cinematography. Here we go. The Brutalist, absolutely an amazing pick. Love the pick. Not mad at it at all. It's what I expected. It's what I predicted. But I would have loved to see it go to Dune Part 2. I just think Dune Part 2 was so snubbed. And like, I don't know if it had to do with just the fact that the Oscars normally look down on movies like that. Sci-fi movies often just don't do that well. But that's not always been true, especially when it's like a transcendent film, which I feel like Dune Part 2 was, especially considering that Dune Part 1 got more awards. Like, Dune Part 1's great, but Part 2 is like one of the best movies I've ever seen. And to see it not get a lot of the things it was nominated for, and to not get nominated for a lot of the things that it should have been, pretty disappointing. That would have been my pick. Emilia Perez, get the hell out of here, man. Get out. Maria... You guys ever seen the meme where it's like it insists upon itself? Yeah, Maria does that. It does. I can't stand the movie, but the cinematography in a way is beautiful, but in such a like pretentious feeling way. Nosferatu, beautiful, beautiful movie. Would not have been mad if it went to that. Honestly, like in a way, I would have been less disappointed about Dune not winning if Nosferatu won, just because like it would have been really cool. I just think it wouldn't have been expected and it would have been a cool win. But The Brutalist was very deserving, so not mad at it. Costume design. I mean, Wicked was fine. Wicked had very cool costume design. No idea why A Complete Unknown was nominated for this. Just makes no sense to me. It was just very, decent costume design, looked fine. Conclave, very beautiful costume design. Maybe a little too simple in terms of like the stuff that they wore is pretty easy to access. Gladiator 2, I think a lot of people made fun of it for its costume design, but I honestly thought it was pretty cool. I don't think Gladiator 2 was a good movie per se, but I had a lot of fun with it. It was pretty funny. The sharks in the freaking Coliseum, like a lot of people hated on that, but that was hilarious. You gotta admit. And like, I don't know if it's true and I don't care enough to look into it, but people say that they actually did that. So, and when I say people say, it's randoms on the internet. So do with that what you will. And then Nosferatu, that would have been my pick. I thought Nosferatu, like specifically the character Nosferatu, just looked really freaking creepy and cool. A lot of people like made fun of it and said he looked goofy, which I see that, but it's like, did you see the first one or even the one from the 70s? Because the guy looked pretty goofy. I thought they made him look even scarier in this one. So whatever, to each their own. Directing, at least it didn't go to Emilia Perez yet again. Last pick for sure, probably second to last pick would have been Who Got It and Nora, then A Complete Unknown. So for me, it was basically between The Brutalist and The Substance. And I think, I would have loved to see The Substance get it because it's like that. I don't know, just would have been cool. Woman director, really cool movie, original idea. But my pick was The Brutalist. It was such a like sprawling, it was an epic. Like a lot of people said it was an attempt at an epic. And yeah, that's true, but I felt like it executed. I loved it. And I think Sean Baker, he's a great director, but I don't think Anora's his best work. And I'm still really kind of confused how it did so much better than other movies. I don't know. I'm confused. But yeah, The Brutalist would have been my pick. All right, moving on to documentary feature film. I could talk about this for much longer than I'm going to, but I think I'll probably lose you guys if I do. I may have to start another channel to cover more political topics like that. But I'll just say No Other Land definitely deserved the win. I think it's good that the Academy is drawing attention to the Palestinian cause. And I'd also like to draw attention to the fact that shortly after No Other Land won this award, co-director Hamdan Bilal was basically attacked by Israeli settlers and lynched and then captured by IDF forces. So yeah, I just wanted to say that and say that the IDF is a terrorist organization. So I'll leave it at that. Moving on to documentary short film. I did actually see all of these, even though I didn't catch all the shorts in general, but I did see all of these. The Only Girl in the Orchestra, very boring. I think it was about an amazing woman, but I think, a better documentary could have maybe painted her in a cooler light because it was just kind of a snooze. Death by Numbers is fine. I Am Ready Warden, also fine. Instruments of a Beating Heart, so cute. So cute. I really loved that one. He brought some tears to my eyes. But Incident, if you haven't seen that, it's on YouTube for free. Everyone should watch that. I think it's a really, really, really important thing to watch. And I'll leave it at that because I don't want to spoil anything. Moving on to film editing. I mean, this is just a joke. This is a joke. Anora's film editing, like, is whatever. It's fine. I really think it should have gone to The Brutalist. The way the pacing is set for the type of movie that it is, somehow it makes what could have been a very slogging story. It makes it very dynamic and engaging, and I just think the editing was incredible. But my second pick would have been Conclave. Also very clean, very crisp editing. Loved it. I don't really understand the Emilia Perez or Wicked nominations personally, but they didn't win, so unfortunately Anora did. Okay, so moving on to international feature film. I think the right movie won it here. I'm Still Here, such a great movie, but I think it was a pretty loaded category, honestly. You take Emilia Perez out, this is 4 really strong, really strong movies. The Girl with the Needle, awesome. Well, I don't know if I should say that, but really well-made movie, very messed up, and I wouldn't recommend you watch it if you want to be happy after, because it's not happy. Emilia Perez, same thing. Don't watch it if you want to be happy. Watch it if you want to wonder why it was allowed. If you want to wonder why white French men are allowed to do the things that they do. That's what I would say. The Seed of the Sacred Fig, I thought was going to be super boring. Absolutely loved it. Would have been really surprised, but wouldn't have been mad if it went there. And then Flow, also, like I said, wouldn't have been my pick for anything it was nominated for, but it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. And if you're a cat person, it's for you. I'm just not a cat person. So the fact that I even liked it is a testament. Moving on to makeup and hairstyling. I think this was one of the easiest wins. Obviously, The Substance was going to win. Despite that, there were some also really good nominees. A Different Man was some really impressive and weird makeup going on there. Emilia Perez, I mean, if I were to pick one thing, it did okay. I guess the makeup and hairstyling was fun, but wouldn't have been anything but last for me either. Nosferatu, really great, really great. Probably would have been my second pick. And wouldn't have been mad. Like I said, I think Nosferatu looked really cool. And then Wicked, I mean, kind of trash. I didn't think the makeup and hairstyling was that good. I thought it was kind of corny, but don't attack me for that. Moving on to music, original score. Another one that was pretty easy to predict, The Brutalist. Not mad at all. I think we all knew it was going to happen. I'm not mad at it happening. It probably would have been my close second pick. I thought Conclave had a freaking killer soundtrack. But it was so neck and neck. The Brutalist was a better movie. I'm not mad at it going to The Brutalist. But Conclave was a great movie too. Great movie. Emilia Perez, terrible. Hopefully it's nominated for a freaking Razzie. Horrible movie. Wicked, I don't know how it's special. I think, what carries that are the songs, not really the score. But The Wild Robot had a cool score. I liked it, but it wasn't the best part of it. So yeah, definitely for me, Conclave or The Brutalist, and I'm not mad The Brutalist got it. Moving on to original song. I mean, this is just a joke. 2 nominations for Emilia Perez is just disgusting. I personally didn't see the Elton John movie. I don't even really remember the song if I have heard it, so I can't really speak on that. But for me, it would have very easily been Like a Bird. And then The Journey is also really good. The 688 is a terrible movie because Tyler Perry made it. It's a story that someone else should tell, though, because it's a really incredible story. It's just Tyler Perry is not a really incredible director, so didn't match up well. But Like a Bird from Sing Sing, such a banger, dude. Such a banger. Loved that song. I think it should have won. I can't believe Emilia Perez managed to win anything. Can't believe it. Best Picture. Finally we're here. Best Picture. I mean, what can I say? I think you guys know that I'm pretty not cool with Anora winning. I'll say the one thing, indie movie, low budget. I can't complain about that. I think it's much better than a crappy big budget movie winning. But I mean, that's not that really ever happens at the Oscars anyway, at least not recently. So it's cool, an indie movie won, but at what cost? At what cost? It's not a very good movie. I think even though Honora aims to like cast this unseen light in like a positive way on sex workers, I don't really know that it achieves that. I think, I would have loved to like learn more about like who they were. And I don't really feel like we did that. It kind of made Mikey Madison's character like look kind of stupid. And I thought that was like almost a plot hole in a way, because she originally didn't seem stupid. And then the way that they portrayed her as the movie went on was like as very naive. I don't think she would have fallen for that. I think the whole thing is a little bit unbelievable. And so that's part of why I didn't like it. And there were like some really weird, like the scene where he's like they're like cuddling and he's playing video games and he's like smashing the buttons on the controller. It's just like, did you guys do any like research of like what gaming is like? I mean, I know that sounds really nerdy, but like that's like very 90s of them to think that that's what gaming is like. And I just like it they were just, and I know that's kind of like a straw man example, but there were a bunch of examples where I just felt kind of taken out of the movie. I thought it was goofy at points. Just what wasn't, I mean, I liked it. I'll say I liked it. I just didn't love it. I didn't think it was exceptional in any way. I just thought it was like, oh, this is a solid movie. The Brutalist would have been would have been my second pick. Absolutely loved it. Deserved the nomination. I think I've said everything I can say about it at this point. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Complete Unknown would have been really weird if it went to that. I liked it. Again, good movie, but I don't know that it's best picture material. I think, deserving enough for a nomination. I'm not mad at the nomination, but I don't think it would be close to my number one pick. Conclave, kind of similar story. I think maybe slightly better than A Complete Unknown. Wicked, not really a player for me. Don't think it should have been nominated. Would have really loved to see Sing Sing nominated. I just think it's a shame. Would have really loved to see Look Back nominated, also in the international category, also in the animation category. I think that's kind of a shame that it wasn't. But I think, Amelia Perez being here is just kind of a blight on this whole process and just kind of shows how out of touch the Academy still is to this day. I'm still here. Awesome movie. Would have loved to see it go to that. Probably in my top 3 or 4. Nickel Boys should have gotten more love in like most categories. Really, really, really good movie. Very sad movie as well. But would not have been mad at all to see it go to that. But my pick would have been Dune Part 2. Like I said before, I just think it was unbelievably snubbed in so many categories, both for nominations and for wins. I think we're going to look back in like 10 or 20 years and be like, how did Dune not win these awards? How did it not get nominated for these awards? I think people are going to look back and be like, it's really quite a shame. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's marketing or just precedents set in the past by the Academy. I don't know, but it really was done dirty. It was done dirty. But moving on, we got a couple more left. Production design, not surprised it went to Wicked. Wouldn't have been my pick. I think Dune Part 2, again, snubbed. But Nosferatu would have been my second pick. Conclave and The Brutalist, also very close. I just wasn't that interested in Wicked's production design. I don't know. I know they did a lot. I don't want to take away from that, but it wasn't that original or interesting to me. They were just, kind of recreating something that already existed. Whereas in Dune Part 2, yeah, sure, you could argue, there's a version of it that already existed, but I think that's kind of ingenuine to what Denny was able to do compared to what Lynch did. Rest in peace, Lynch. But that's probably his worst movie. It's cool. Like, it's fun to watch, but I think it would be doing him a disservice as a director to say that it is among one of his better, because it's just not. It's not. He has so many great movies, and his interpretation of Dune is not one of them. But moving on to live action short film. I kind of knew that I'm Not a Robot was going to win. Just kind of had a feeling. I mean, personally, I would have given it to Anuja, but also Alien, that probably would have been my second pick. I did not see The Last Ranger or The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, though. So maybe those were really great, but I just don't know. These were the only 3 I was able to see. I'm Not a Robot was very cool too, though, so I'm not really mad at it. I just don't know that it held the same weight as the other 2. Moving on to sound, Dune Part 2. I mean, if it didn't win this category, I would have rioted. I would have, it would have been bad for many people. If Dune didn't win sound, because it's like, what are we doing with these 4? I don't know. It's crazy to me. Visual effects, same story. I thought Alien Romulus had some really cool effects as well, but nothing was touching Dune this year. Nothing. And like, how can Wicked win production design and visual effects? There's no way. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I thought the monkeys looked great, but everything else looked like a little oversaturated to me. I didn't really love, the style of it, so I'm glad that didn't get it. And then Better Man, I could not justify spending money to watch that. I've heard it's good. I just don't care. I'm not paying to watch a movie about that guy. I don't know what is his name? British guy. I don't, whatever. Moving on here to writing for an adapted screenplay. Conclave, very solid pick. Not mad. I mean, a little mad, I guess. A little salty. A little salty. Complete Unknown wouldn't be my pick. It's solid, but probably my second lowest. Again, Mia Perez, total crap fest. What the hell? Nickel Boys, very high. Probably my second pick. Such a good movie. But like I said, guys, Sing Sing was my movie of the year. I mean, it's just a joke. It's a joke that it didn't get more nominations. There are probably, 5 categories it wasn't nominated in, at least, that it should have been nominated in. And then it didn't win any of the ones it was. And that's just a shame. It's a shame. Such a good movie. But yeah, we'll move on. We'll move on to writing for an original screenplay. Again, what can I say that I haven't already said about Nora? Nothing. I'll just say it shouldn't have won. At least September 5th didn't win, though, because that's a total propaganda mess, total crap fest. I think it's just a joke that it was even nominated, but it was kind of a nice nod that it did not even really get acknowledged, while No Other Land won. So I'm glad. And then A Real Pain, very good movie. Wouldn't have been my pick. Didn't get it, so that's fine. The Substance, definitely my second option. Would have loved to see it get the nod. Very good movie. But The Brutalist, again, I think The Brutalist should have won a lot more than it did. And I think it's a shame that it didn't. I'll leave it at that, guys. There's another one down the hatch. Moving on, I'll be getting back to some more music stuff. I got to do my 2024 list here. I finally finished it. My top albums of 2024. And that's going to be fun. I still want to do that The Cure tier list. And I got plenty of reviews I want to do. I want to start doing sports stuff. Let me know down in the comments, should I do sports stuff on this channel, or should I make another channel for sports content? What do you guys think? But yeah, stay safe, guys. Keep it real. We will try to get you another video here as soon as possible. But as I've said, life has been crazy. So, you'll get it when you get it. See ya.